Hey guys, thanks for joining us today on our ICCG YouTube series. And today is a special day. You obviously don't see Grant and Dave sitting here, but what you do see, who you do see, is myself, Andrew. I was in the last video doing business development, and then today we get to introduce our employee, Mason. Mason has been with us for about a year now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And so what his role is, actually, Mason, can you kind of give a real quick snapshot of what your role is?
Yeah, absolutely. So I oversee and kind of manage the process overall for us and manage the process for due diligence as well.
There you go. And so we wanted to make sure we got Mason in here as he will be a part of everything from start to finish, as he is managing the process with us, right, for us. And so today we're going to be talking about what we do once we have engaged. So last video we talked about the initial conversations. What does that look like? Well, let's say you've decided, hey, I want to sell my company. Right, and I'm going to use you to help us sell, and so they have engaged. And what will we do from here?
Yeah, so we talked about in the previous video, we talked about the initial request. Now it's a more detailed list. So we're going to ask for the monthly financials. So monthly P&Ls, monthly balance sheets, sales by customer, a lot more detailed sales by customer to put together the financial package.
Yeah, and I will also say on the financial side, I know that there's always going to be some expenses that a buyer will not take forward into the company, right? So maybe some personal expenses, right? That are, we'll call it discretionary, right? And so I know that we will recast to create that bottom line, and we'll ask questions whenever we request. We'll ask questions on that. So is there any information that is non-financial that we'll need to request?
Yeah, we will ask for an org chart just to understand the structure of the business.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, and there's other information that we'll request as well, and other questions, which, the next part of the process would be what we call our onboarding meeting, right? And so what that looks like really is just a conversation, right? We use all that information that we request, and we'll look over it as a team very thoroughly, right? And what we'll do is we'll generate questions out of it, right? And that onboarding meeting is with our whole team and you, and we'll just ask questions, clarifying, hey, what about this in the P&L? Hey, what about this employee? What's the plan for this, and what growth opportunities do you see? And it's a lot more of a dialogue into the company, because at the end of the day, we need to know the revenue model. Right, Absolutely. We need to know the nuances of the company so that we can fully portray with any buyer, right? And we know what the buyers are going to ask, and so there are going to be some questions that we'll ask that we know that we can expect a buyer to ask, right? And so once we kind of get a grasp of all of that, what do we do from there? Do we request more? What do we do?
Yeah, so from that meeting, we put together all that information to create the marketing materials. So that's going to include your teaser, which is just kind of a 30,000-foot view of the business, not including the company name, just very general. From there, we create the CIM, or the confidential information memorandum, which is more detailed, the history of the business, just to portray to a potential buyer. And then from there, we put together the financial package. So your monthly P&Ls, your yearly P&Ls, your balance sheets, monthly, sales by customer. We put all that together to portray to potential buyers.
Yeah, that's really good. And then I know that the last thing that we'll actually do is create a buyer list, right? And we'll talk about the buyer list a little bit more in our next video when we talk about marketing and negotiating. But really, the buyer list, we do need to go over with you, right? When we'll sit down and walk through it, and we'll say, hey, is there anybody that we don't want to market to, that you don't want us to that you wouldn't sell to? Even if they made you a great offer, you wouldn't sell to them, right? Which does happen. And we want to respect you with that. And we also know that you know your business and know the type of hands that it might go well in, right? And for a buyer. And so we're going to ask your opinion. And so really it's a process that we take on with you, and we want to make sure that we are able to fully explain the whole company and the nuances within it. And so anyway, anything else to add? I think we're good. All right. Well, hey, we'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for joining Grant, Dave, and the rest of our team today. My name is Andrew, and I'm with the business development side of ICCG. If you have any questions or want to talk to somebody on our team, please visit our website, follow the directions there. I'll most likely be the one to respond, so look forward to hearing from you. Before you go, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.